Alrighty, everyone. This has been a long way in the making, but it's officially going to happen here tonight. The NASCAR All Series All-Star Race, and there's a lot of excitement in the air. There's going to be one driver at the end of the night that comes out being 2023's All-Star of the season. In alongside me in the booth, we've got Brian DeBlank with the call here tonight too.
Hello, everybody.
And this is sort of a test trial as he will be taking over this series as the IROC. We'll have an IROC series in the full universe going forward. This here tonight is our test trial of that. And I'm glad to have you in the booth with us tonight here. Hopefully, hopefully there's no gremlins that strike, in our 2003.
Indeed. There will be differences in the IROC format from this All-Star race, but that's part of why we intended to do it this way.
And yeah, so with what we've got here tonight, we're going to have two open heats, or I guess you could say even duels, to figure out the remaining lineup for the main event here tonight. These duels each 10 laps in length, filled in with everyone from our server that had not established themselves necessarily in the top 10 of Cup, Trucks, or Busch yet. So these are kind of the drivers on the outskirts trying to work their way into the main event. The way we have it, our main event has locked in the top 10 from Trucks, the top 10 from Busch, and the top 10 from Cup in point standings from 2022. I figured that was the most fair way to establish, since when the concept was put together, 2023 was still in the process of being run.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming.
But overall, I am excited that we get to have some on-track action. Pocono never ceases to amaze. There's always good racing to be had here at Pocono.
And it always enjoys throwing a wrench into things every once in a while.
Yeah, especially a lot of the races I've seen here come down to a fuel mileage game. That won't be a factor with the All-Star format. And
at least as far as we know right now.
Right. We do have some kind of excitement with the layout of the event, so that we can see field inverted and all that kind of stuff going forward at the main event tonight here. So it's going to be a little bit harder to follow along, as you can't really tell who's in what car. So that's why we're here tonight, to kind of walk you through who's where and how it's going. Nate Newman in second right now as Lewis Tross leads the way. Jack Davis up to third. And what most of these drivers don't know is who's in due to the All-Star, or the votes for the All-Star.
Indeed, we have the results. However, those will not be said until end of the event. What's going on now?
So we had our first caution already, the 02 of Nadaka Gum. He started, looks like he started about 26th. Get a better angle on this one. Yeah, that just looked like he dive bombed into turn 3 there. Okay, there's a little bit more further back. The entry
is the yellow flag rule in effect for these races?
For the open, yes. We're not we're still getting laps counted. The open is kind of a standard run. Normal laps and everything apply here, so.
Gotcha. Just so that we can get them in and get them done.
But I can do this and we can get back to racing quicker. I guess it's gonna have to at least run one lap. So it'll be the top 4 from this open that make it into the main event. And one of these 4 drivers at the front of the field could be in the top half of the votes. And so that'll push us further down the list if that happens as to who's in on the vote.
It may be a little bit disappointing that these yellow flag laps are going to count. However, we do have it set up to where that won't be an issue coming up in the main event.
Correct. So I want to do...
Luis Trost here got off to a great start out of turn 1. Who was that on the outside?
I believe Nate Newman was on the high side at the start of it.
Almost looked like they got too close to the wall. Just couldn't capitalize on the space.
Yeah, no, as of right now, you got Louis Trost in a transfer along with Jack Davis, Nate Newman, and Jeffrey Gerald. Just on the outside, you have Taden Berggren, followed by Atlee Weiss, Kellen Roellich, Chris Harvey, Leighton Avyard. That would be Smith, Colton Smith, Noah Hobson, Bella Fawn, Jack Ross, Bradley Ream, Skylar Dixon, Tyler Aspinall, Craig Popgris, and the rest as follows. Looks like Hagum's going to continue running out there with having gotten that wreck. We'll get back to our regular camera here. So I'm kind of test trialing some things here. I've never used free camera during a broadcast before, but as you can see, it's going to help us sincerely here tonight, trying to figure out where everyone's running.
Had a deja vu to Smokey and the Bandit, if I'm honest.
You guys got a copy?
Hey, James.
We hear you.
Hey guys, sorry I'm a little late.
All's good.
What have I missed?
First wreck so far, we saw the 02 of Nadak Hagum go 3 wide and get out of control. Seemed like a pretty minor wreck for the most part.
And is this the open or the main event?
Open.
Okay. Trying to get myself all caught up here.
Currently, it's Louis Trost leading Nate Newman. And it looks like we got a battle there for 3rd. Jeffrey Gerald now up to 3rd. Jack Davis back to 4th. Berggren with a good run here. Atlee Weiss in the picture as well. That puts Berggren up to 4th for the final transfer spot. Meantime, Trost still leading over Newman. We're introducing the new drone cam here in the NASCAR Racing Series.
That is a nifty new tool you got there, Jacob.
So let's clarify for everybody watching. It'll be 4 moving on from this race, 4 moving on from the second race, and then the top 4 in the voting?
Correct. And so what's fascinating is I will kind of discern a little bit for our fan vote. Atlee Weiss here, who's running 5th, if he's able to get into the top 4, Weiss being one of the top vote getters, it'll push the top 4 in the votes back 1 spot if Atlee's able to race his way in. So technically, if you're in the top 12 of the votes earned, depending on how the finish results occur, it could really you could be the 12th most popular driver and still make it in.
All depends on how things fall.
Nice 3-way battle here with Trost, Newman, and Gerald. Berger and
Trost had the early advantage, but seems to have lost it now that we've actually got some rubber on the road.
Nate Newman has been kind of a late bloomer here in the series, and will be racing in the Cup Series full time in 2024. Just like that, you got Weiss now into the top 4, so that'll make things interesting.
Even though all of these cars look identical, aside from the names and the numbers, there's still something about seeing all these Firebird bodies that just warms my heart.
They are pretty snazzy out there.
Yeah, it's something special about seeing that body style like that with that many of them that are that competitive together.
Crazy thing is that I think that if they'd evolved at all, they wouldn't have looked as good because they'd have started getting odd shaped like the Cup cars did.
Yeah.
So I think, oddly enough, I think their time they were a product of their time and they ended when they needed to.
They're in that sweet spot of body style.
And having worked on a number of these myself, I can tell you they are slightly off from one side to the other, but nowhere near the skewing that we saw in NASCAR around 07.
I kind of noticed that too when I was tweaking around with them. I was noticing from one side to the other that they're not symmetrical, but the schemes look really, really good on them.
It's a slight difference from one side to the other, but it is there.
I've actually got to where I start using the wireframe for painting once in a while. And we got the white flag rolling already.
Yep, we're flying through these laps. Wireframe is very useful as long as people don't decide to use the shadows on it.
Oh yeah. There we go. There's a battle for the first position. Doesn't make a huge difference here if you win or finish second, as long as you stay in the top 4.
No, but it's a good spectacle.
Trost driving it in deep here through turn 2.
You never know what could happen in final corner. They could end up wrecking each other out.
Very much so.
Trost drives it in deep, turn 3. Nate Newman in second, Atlee Weiss in third, and I believe Jeffrey Gerald will be 4th. So your 4 qualified into the main here tonight, right there at the front.
Trost able to make it stick on that last turn. Well done.
So it'll be a brief intermission here as we get things finalized and ready for duel number 2. And of course, Louis Trost, Nate Newman, Atlee Weiss, and Jeffrey Gerald have raced their way into the main event here tonight. Unfortunately, the rest of the field's going to have to fall back on hoping they got enough votes in. I can already tell you that we will be going back to number 5 in the votes because of Atlee Weiss racing his way in. So
one thing I'm already seeing is that it does not appear that passing is going to be a major thing in this event tonight.
well, and it'll be interesting to see once you get all the trucks, Busch, and Cup drivers out there mixed in with these open drivers as to what chaos might ensue.
True, true. While we're at intermission, how about any questions that anybody wants to ask?
Yeah, feel free to hop in on the live chat here in YouTube. Anything, and we'll try to answer. Getting set here. The second open just about to start. Already getting everything prepped up here. As we saw Louis Trost, Jeffrey Gerald, and as well as Atlee Weiss and Nate Newman making it into the main event already here tonight. And duel number 2 already set up here. And starting on the front row, none other than Brian DeBlank alongside James Reddick.
Oh boy.
Dave Steele and Andre Stefan. Roach alongside Tom Cording. Cannon Gage and Michael LeBeau. Gannon Bird and Kyle Ottawa. Zach Armstrong and John Hagan. These two right here are heavy in the voting right now, so might keep an eye out on them to see how they fare here in the duel. Anheuser Walkner alongside Gavin Legend, Andrew Moger and Josh Drake, Santi Messi and John Brinker, David Bird and James Robert, Kaylee Sheets and Matias Nunez, Trevor Vaden and Paul Ladino, Chris Mousy and Nate Gonzalez, Daniel Paulus Jr. and Asiel Escobar, with GP Luxembourg and Kosnoff rounding out the back of the field. 10 more laps here for open number 2.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
This is one of those weird moments. It's like picking a commentator in one of the old wrestling games, and then they commentate on themselves.
Yep, rolling.
Sorry about that. I had a little bit of... I didn't realize my Discord pings were coming through there. Sorry about that, everybody.
Oh, and we got Brian DeBlank already out to the early lead here on lap 1.
He's getting off to an awfully big lead. And you're good, Jake.
You're good. You're good, BK.
Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
This is why I have trouble with commentary.
That's why I have trouble with commentary as well, even when it's my own thing.
There we go. Roach now up to 3rd as Reddick drops back to 4th. Cannon Gage getting into the mix here.
You've got a Cording coming up into the top 4. And we've made it the first lap without a caution.
Cannon Gage fighting alongside Gannon Bird there.
All in due time, my friend. All in due time.
Of course, of course.
Let's not get impatient for our cautions here.
Wow, Hagen driving really hard into the turn there. You can see in the background.
He was, of course, he had to lead. That was about the only way that he was going to help Chevrolet finally get to the winner's circle in trucks. It worked then, it should work now, right?
Mm-hmm. After all, this field is pretty stacked in this one. At least towards that front half.
Well, and Tom Cording, our truck champion this past season, obviously fighting hard with a vengeance here to get into the main event. He has every right to be in the show for an all-star event.
He's not even going to wait. He's going to take the lead going into this lap.
So Tom Cording to the lead now as Dave Steele slots his way into 2nd. Roach making a move there alongside of him.
Seems like it seems like whenever Tom has a really good car, he's not one to wait. He just kind of pushes. He just goes.
Unfortunately, Roach is kind of in a bad spot right now, especially with Gage right behind.
Whoop. I knew I was going to do that eventually. They're going to get
and
out.
And down
the
goes the drone. There it is again.
There we go. Have to get higher off the ground.
This is why we have spare drones.
Oh, DeBlank now side by side with Cannon Gage. Cannon Gage currently in the transfer spot. Oh, that was a bold move onto the outside.
DeBlank has had a problem all year with running the outside on tracks, and it seems like it's going to continue being a thing.
Tom Cording leads Dave Steele currently, and Roach has a run coming. You can see that run mounting.
Whoa! Bird flying in there.
Oh, and then look at, all of a sudden we got Andre Stefan in the picture too. Roach making a move here, getting the momentum on his side. Steele side by side going through turn 2.
So what we have is Tom Cording with a race-winning car, and then everybody else battling for second, third, and fourth. I know, don't get ahead of myself, but he's looking real good right now.
Cannon Gage gets by Steele. That puts Cannon Gage up into a transfer spot.
Seems like a lot of people who use the outside going into turn 1 can't seem to keep any speed.
Yeah, it seems like the outside, if you go choose the outside line or get stuck up there, you're gonna lose spots. It's just not the best. It really kind of sucks up there.
Wow,
Question
Gannon.
becomes, oh, good grief, Gannonberg. Question just becomes, can you slip back down to the bottom and make that time up?
Yeah, it's a matter of if you can manage to get back down and get that time back, you're okay. But if you can't, it's gonna cost you.
Man, Tom Cording might need to be careful here. It looks like Gannon Bird closing that gap.
That was the jinx this time, I guess.
Ooh, Andre
He still
Stefan.
He still has the handle on it, but he has company again. Here's your top 4, folks, as they stand right now. How many laps do we have left?
3 laps to go. This time it'll be 2 laps. Gannon Bird running right there behind Cording on the longest straightaway that we raced down.
Now Roach has that double draft.
Gannon Bird side by side for the lead position.
Stefan going for third.
In the meantime, these 4 have kind of broke away from the rest of the field. You can see Cannon Gage just kind of outside the picture there.
He's trying to stay in the drafts. Looks like he's managed to hold on to it for now.
Here comes Cannon Gage with a full head of steam. DeBlanc back into the picture as well.
Where did he come from?
Just kind of minding his own P's and Q's there in the back.
Looks like he has a friend.
James Reddick in the car right there behind him. Oh, Cannon Gage losing some momentum there.
That's not some. That's a lot of momentum there.
Indeed. It's like Steele even is caught back up. This is last lap, isn't it?
Okay, 1 lap
Nope.
at the line. White flag this time by, though. Man, this is going to be a hard battle.
It's all or nothing at this point for some of these guys.
All of a sudden, the entire field has accordioned up again.
Oh, it's almost 4 wide.
How did they make that work up front?
You almost gotta wonder if Tom Cording was content on falling back to second for a lap or two just to wait and see what happens at the end here.
Maybe for a minute, but as soon as he looked in his mirror again, he was like, oh no.
Oh no, I'm out of here. I see this train coming, no way.
I see one of 2 things. I see me getting passed by everybody. I see a train or a train wreck. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Also, for some reason, I'm watching this and I have old school Speed Racer music playing in my head.
Come on. This is a tight battle. Look at DeBlanc joins the party again.
This is for transfer.
all for 4th position right here on the line. Cannon Gage is going to try to take that bottom lane there, but I don't know if he's going to have enough.
No,
He's
he's already
not
losing
gonna have
momentum.
enough.
That's going to go to Roach as the last one in, potentially.
So Roach, Gannon Bird, Andre Stefan, and Tom Cording, which is actually a pretty kind of an eclectic mix. You got our top 2 truck drivers of Tom Cording and Andre Stefan, Gannon Bird and Roach, who've had some troubles within their series,
But have been talked about on a constant basis at the same time.
One thing's for sure, we will see Tom Cording join his brother Tim in the main event here tonight.
Can we get another Cording 1-2?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet James would be proud of that.
I would be pretty proud of that, actually. Because SBK, Jacob, your series are the first ones that I've actually had fairly good success in.
Really?
You can SBK, I have awful luck.
From the ones that I've also been involved with, for the most part, yeah, this is the most consistent his drivers have been for a long time, especially in this style of racing. Look at this! Look at this moron! Couldn't even make it to pit road.
Nope, forgot the pit.
That or he's just happy to be here.
Just taking a solo
I
victory
feel like
lap.
that's all of your. I feel like that's every one of your drivers I've seen.
Right up until something bad happens, and then they're in the dark
Yeah.
position.
Yeah, they're just happy to be here.
That or he didn't feel, because I was involved with building some of these. He probably felt something he didn't like and was trying to give a shakedown on it.
Just in case you got that fan vote.
Okay, so this is how it's going to play out for the fan votes. First off, the first official driver in on most votes obtained, Bradley Ream got 16 votes to a total of out of 64 votes, he got 16, so nearly a quarter of the votes went to Bradley Ream. Taden Berggren was the second highest vote getter at 11. And so this is where things get a little bit wonky. Since Atlee Weiss raced his way in, we are now into the tie for 4th, where we had a grand total of, let's see, 5 drivers all tied for 4th with 7 votes apiece. So it's going to come down to results from the
I say if we'd had that big of a tie for 4th, we let them all race.
if only I could put 46 cars out on field. So at least I did save.
I wish I knew how to do that. I know some people do, but I don't.
What, save?
No. Extend fields.
Oh yeah. The big deal with that is not
Pit boxes get
crashing
wonky.
the track.
Yeah, not crashing the track and the pit boxes get a little wonky. Or in some cases, non-existent.
Yep.
So you get some poor bastards that end up just...
Why am I pitting in turn 4?
What do you mean I'm pitting in turn 4? I have no pit box down here. Huh, that's the bad news. The good news is
teleport into
you
their
made
box
the
when they get
race.
teleported through the wall.
And thrown into the field of 30 cars that was minding its own business halfway around the track.
Just turns into a Skyrim glitch.
Mm-hmm.
So Bradley Ream, Taden Berggren,
Or at some point before that, it's going to crash.
Yes, so at
Usually,
race.
usually it just crashes immediately.
So we will go to sports and imports. Open number 1. We'll figure out who was amongst Tasha Wright, James Reddick, Zach Armstrong, Cannon Gage, and John Hagan.
So you're going to need that second one open?
Mm-hmm. So right now, because Cannon Gage was 5th in the second, how much? So we should probably just take, well, actually, even James Reddick was 7th. And so that makes for 2 if we took the 2 from there, 5th and 7th. Otherwise, we would have had to look deep for John Hagan, I believe.
He was in the second one, I believe.
Okay.
No, he's 10th.
10th.
Is Wright, Armstrong, or
Yep, Armstrong 8th. It looks like everyone was actually in duel number 2, believe it or not, except for Tasha.
Yeah, I think Tasha was in the first one and finished 16th.
16th.
Or 18th.
Okay. Yep, 18th. So Tasha is out. John Hagan is out. So that puts us at Cannon Gage and James Reddick as your voted in. Cannon Gage and James Reddick make the show here tonight.
Zach Armstrong with a strong push, but just not enough.
Just came up short. He was about 1,000th off of James Reddick in 8th. So just short.
But who all was in the tie? Sorry.
Tasha, James Reddick, Zach Armstrong, Cannon Gage, and John Hagan.
Okay.
So actually, Reddick, Armstrong, and Gage finished 5th, 7th, and 8th. Those were our 3 highest vote. Well, amongst the top 8 in our highest fan votes for the event.
This feels like trying to untangle a very complicated twin duels.
It does.
So, mission accomplished then.
And
for those of you just joining us, we're in a little bit of an intermission. We're setting up the field for the main event here shortly. We just got done running our 2 open duels, and now we're setting the field for the main event.
so I guess the only thing I have not tested is to see if this with our, what is it called? The ticker, I don't know if it'll actually work properly with this instance of NASCAR Racing 2003, since I am going to be using a program that creates an all-star style event here.
Okay.
So, yes, as for those that may not have heard, our fan vote winners were that of Cannon Gage and James Reddick to make the main event here tonight. And just give me a couple more seconds here and we will get ready for the main event shortly. 70 laps total. If you want to blank, go ahead and explain what the stages are going to be like.
Absolutely. So, tonight's main events, will be 4 stages. Stages 1, 2, and 3 will all be 15 laps apiece. Stage 4 will be 25. First stage will be a straight up 15 lap sprint. During stage 2, between stages 1 and 2, there will be open pit road, and anyone who chooses to come down at that point will be allowed. However, that is going to be strange because segment 2 includes a mandatory pit stop. For segment 3, we will be running a whole field inversion. We'll be bringing everybody down pit road, and everybody will come out in reverse order. Also, at this point, we'll be bringing the entire field down pit road, and we will make sure that everything is in order before everybody goes back out. Stage 4, once everything has, all the dust is settled before then, 25 laps, and the fastest person will win the race.
And so, yes,
not the simplest thing, but a challenge for sure.
And so, yeah, we've got it set up basically like a real-life all-star event where you can really change the whole atmosphere of the race. There's a program on NR 2003 that allows for this, and I've run it a few times. It usually works pretty well. And then we should be good to go.
It's on the 15%.
Nope, don't worry about that because it'll actually it's doing
You're good.
stuff that
I see what it's doing.
Yeah.
I see what it's doing. Yep.
So we'll go ahead and sim through qualifying. And now we're going to see kind of a mix of the field with our different paint schemes signifying those who are in trucks, those who are in Busch, and those who are in Cup.
This is a little bit of a teaser for the IROC series.
And we will have more information on schedule for that next in a couple weeks probably, but it'll run simultaneously with the Cup series that will have a full set of IROC racers racing for kind of a side championship, so that'll be fun.
Shorter races, single cars, obviously, and a smaller field, but hopefully more focused and hopefully a tight-knit race group.
And so, to no further ado, your starting lineup for tonight's all-series, all-star event here in the NASCAR racing circuit. On the front row, you've got Dalton Scott and Tom Cording. Tom Cording coming through the open to make it to the main event here tonight. Behind them, you've got Gannon Bird and Nate Newman. As you can see, a couple more open entries towards the front of the field here. Al Bunch, who was your Sylvania Busch Light champion in 2023, starting pretty good at the front of the field here alongside Cannon Gage. Then you've got Andre Stefan, who is a standout in the Truck Series this year, alongside Kara Shangle. Matthew Fastnaw and Roach. Riley Sorrell Tracy and Monty Shangle. Nelson Chacon and Maggie Reams. Jacob Shangle and Tristan Reams. Jeffrey Gerald and Tyler Shangle. Tyler Shangle, the winningest driver in the Sylvania Cup Series.
Got the whole clan there in the middle.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Walker and Justin Daytu. Adam Starr and Adam Gerber-Forian. Taden Berggren and Jordan Walker. Ant Meeperson and Chris Hergeson. Clyde Coker and James Reddick. Logan Nagy and Atlee Weiss. Guido Piano and Alan Taylor, Ewan Woodarmy alongside Krista Cower, Aaron Rapp, Braden Hunt, Greg Forian, Chaz Chadwick, Tim Cording, and Cam Jordan, with Lewis Trost and Bradley Ream at the back of the field. So something unlike anything we've done in this series, where you've got all series represented here tonight, and there can only be one champion at the finish of it all. So
Highlander rules. Well, maybe not. Nobody has to die.
Yet. Nobody has to die. Yet.
And I've got my new toy, which I'm having fun with here, the drone.
You really are having a lot of fun with that drone, aren't you?
It adds a whole nother wrinkle to how we can present the races now.
See, the next thing you're gonna have to get good at is when you accidentally crash it into the grass, switching to a car.
Yeah.
Switching to a car. Buy yourself some time to get another drone in the air.
Or another camera angle.
So Dalton Scott, he's actually an all-star. Once we've run all-star races before, 2012 Sylvania Cup all-star. So perhaps he can show up and show down here again for another all-star event.
From the past, maybe.
Maybe. What were you gonna mention there? I interluded.
I've lost it.
And how many laps are we going here? 15?
Yep.
For this first segment? For this first segment?
3 segments, yes.
Okay.
And the nice part is no caution laps count, so only green flag laps count. If we get under caution, those laps will just, they'll run them, and we won't tally up a finished lap on that. So
as strong as this field is, though, hopefully that isn't an issue.
So here we go. Green flag a-waving for the first ever all-star event of its caliber.
You say that, but these are the all-stars of all of our series combined here.
I realize that what grenade I just pulled the pin on.
Impressive from Gannon Bird to had to race his way in. Kind of interesting to see the the contrast here with our open contenders. Actually, they got more track time, so that might have helped a little bit.
Scott running awful high on that top line too.
The open field is the only one with 12 entries, since you got 10 trucks, 10 Busch, and 10 Cup entries. So I guess power and numbers could be justified here. Kind of makes you wonder if you think that they might actually work along with cars colored like themselves, that they might actually team up on the others. There's obviously
there's got to be a little bit of intra-series camaraderie,
Right, a little bit of bragging rights as to I beat the Cup driver, hands down. These open drivers just now getting by Dalton Scott, a Sylvania Cup champion in his own, as well as now Al Bunch cycling to the front with Tom Cording. Tom Cording, a truck champion, Al Bunch, a Busch champion.
They are still too wide most of the way down this pack.
It doesn't seem like anybody's settled down on passing.
Absolutely not. I don't think this is going to be as calm as that second open race was.
No.
which is saying something considering how exciting that got at the end.
Andre Stefan trying to go for the lead here on Gannon Bird.
You can't hold up. You can't wait in this rate in any of these segments anymore. Especially with the pit stops incoming, you want to get the best position on track you can.
As you can see, the Sylvania orange cars coming to the front here. And the Under Armour trucks obviously represented with the red scheme here tonight.
A little bit of a late block by Tom Cording on Al Bunch there.
Imagine there'll be some expressions shared.
Is that just texture glitch or Chacon actually getting the wall there?
Probably texture.
It looks like texture.
And they're just a placement glitch.
Yep.
Or some tracks, they do put the cones in the fence, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
It's a lot of open cars near the front there. Maybe there was something to that track time idea.
Well, and it's not like it's the first time for some of these guys on Pocono. It's just the fact that it's a new car. That extra track time definitely helps getting used to something you've never driven before.
True, true.
Gannon Bird taking the lead here from Andre Stefan. Al Bunch, wow, Bunch with a mad charge into turn 3.
We'll call that payback for that block.
Mm-hmm.
Just Bunch just drove right past him after the fact. Holy smokes. He's going to lose. He might lose some momentum on the straight, but
Jacob gonna try to dive it in there.
Tommy almost became the stuffman in an Oreo.
Here we go, Al Bunch with a full head of steam on Gannon Bird. Ooh, that was a very demanding swap of leads there.
He committed to that and he was like, "This is mine now.
Oh,
Don't even try.
Wow,
This is mine."
Jeffrey Gerald kind of coming out of nowhere there too, joining the front of the field. So yes, for those of you that are currently watching, if you've just joined, we are going to do 4 segments for the All-Star event here. Segment 1 currently underway, 15 laps in distance. Yellow flags only counting, so if we get under caution on lap 10, we'll return back to racing on lap 10. Segments 2 and 3 will be 15 laps as well. However, at the conclusion of segment 2, the field will invert. An entire field invert. So stage 3, your leader is going to have to try to fight back to the front. And stage 4 will be a 25-lap shootout here around Pocono.
And don't forget, stage 2 also has the mandatory pit stop.
Right. During the stage itself. So everyone has to make a pit stop within the 15 laps that they run. Anytime during that 15-lap segment.
Al Bunch, the 2023 Busch Series champion.
Tom Cording, the 2023 truck champion as well.
Kind of funny how the cream rises to the top.
And where's our 2023 Cup champion?
Let's see, Atlee Weiss, who raced his way in. Weiss is kind of trapped in the back, but maybe there's a strategy to that. Perhaps a little bit of sandbagging or rope-a-doping to try and get that invert in his favor.
I believe he had an awful bad start, too.
Did we have a mechanical failure? No, I don't see anyone out of the race.
But again,
Oh,
they
right
were
there.
double foul for the first 5 or 6
seconds.
laps.
P32.
So he may just now be getting a chance to weave through the field.
Well, there's our 2022 truck champion, Guido Piano. He earned this berth off his 2022 standings, where he was the champion in trucks. Louis Trost has been kind of a breakout star in the Cup Series. He had won 2 races in 2023. Especially the one that stands out that's going to go down in history is winning the first ever Rock and Roll Hall of Fame event in the Cup Series. That's a stat that no one can take away from him. He gets to hold it with a high honor. And obviously tonight too, this is going to be one of those high honor rewards if whoever pulls off the victory here tonight. It's going to be a very historic win for an all-star event of this caliber. And the lead change, we had Gannon Bird getting back into the front position.
I'm gonna 5 to go this time.
Now the pit road will be open during this intermission. However, like we've said, there is mandatory pit stops in segment 2. So if that were to happen, something would be possibly very wrong with the car.
Wow, Jeffrey Gerald now trying to fight for the lead here.
That's a full head of steam.
He's got a caboose with him.
Nelson Chacon up to 4th. This is going to be a dangerous...
Whoa!
That went from...
Drove it in deep there. It's gonna cost him a spot, though.
Yeah, Gerald lost steam, then Tom almost
Lost
drove
steam
into
with-
him.
So one thing you will not see the AI do that real life drivers often do here at Pocono is you won't see the AI try to break the draft behind them. And what we see here with Gannon Bird holding a solid line there, these guys are going to catch right back up to him. Due in part to the fact that he's not trying to break that draft.
Honestly, it's probably for the best.
It makes for better racing, I can guarantee you that. Man, but Gannon Bird...
Yes.
It's really fun to watch them, charge into the turn there and gain all that momentum. Gannon Bird obviously running a early break and braking early and getting back into the gas early at the exit of corners.
We thought that Trost in the first open race would be able to walk away with a gap like that, but he very much did not.
There we go, advantage now Nelson. Perhaps Jeffrey Gerald. Wow, 2 of them diving down below Gannon Bird there.
This is more slicing and dicing that I've seen from AI in a long time.
Oh, Pocono races really well with these guys. Wow.
Nate Newman into the picture here. Al Bunch back up to 4th. Gannon Bird dropping like a rock.
Yeah, Pocono's very hit and miss. It's for the races that I've run here. It seems like lower skill doesn't end up all that well, but the higher the skill, the closer the race. So this is honestly a great track for experienced series. As long as, of course, as long as the car can handle it as well.
Still no retirements in stage 1 here. White flag this time by.
The last car on the lap is only just under 8 seconds. That's impressive.
White flag waving. Jeffrey Gerald here with a push on the inside of Nelson. So obviously we're not looking at top 5 positions like we were in the opens. This is simply gonna stage them for the second stage.
Jason able to hold on to that second spot, but just barely.
Tom Cording wants to get second here.
Does.
Nate Newman gonna try to get up to third in the last few seconds of this segment and gets third.
Wow.
So, I don't think anyone expected to see Jeffrey Gerald blow to the front and win the first segment. Tom Cording and Nate Newman, 3 of them at the front, all 3 of them open contenders that made the main event here tonight.
Jason just showing how you can fall off a cliff real quick too.
Right? No, it's gonna come down to them, you're a sitting duck in the lead at times here. Our pole sitter Dalton Scott comes back for a top 15.
One thing that we have failed to mention, not the biggest deal, but we are not eliminating anybody during these stints. So, barring a retirement, which even then I'm not completely sure with how this is set up.
We might have to see exactly what happened here on the 13 of Adam. It looks pretty bunched up in the rear end. Must have happened on the last lap, too. Was it just them coming?
It could be a visual glitch still. Or it could have accordioned.
Ooh, there was a little bit of drama at the end of this one.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, they kind of got woed up there, and Adam just got ran.
That looked like a... Yeah, that was...
What in the world?
That was a lawn dart situation.
So Tim Cording involved, as well as Cam Jordan and James Reddick.
It does look like the 50 tried to slow down at the last minute, but I don't know about Jordan there.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that transitions into the next segment.
Actually, we are also testing a little bit of technology, so hopefully it works out, or we learn.
Segment 2, restore the event, yes. Sweet.
Drivers, start your engine!
Yep, so Tom Cording and Nate Newman, Jeffrey Gerald. I do think what happened here is we did see the shuffle from pit stops. So we did have it enabled to where they can make live pit stops, and that could actually alter the running order. So it looks like Tom Cording loses a spot to second. As you can see, this is the running order for the start of segment 2.
I'm guessing they just decided to make adjustments. Well, some people ended up needing that option.
Yeah, Tim Cording at the back of the field. I do believe if you're mildly damaged, the game might just kind of repair the mild damage. So no retirements. Everyone's still in the mix here. Yeah, Adam Gruber-Forian, as you can see, his car back to normal. But I do think that was just an accordion of them slowing up at the end of the race. So perhaps we just treated that as it never happened.
Possibly.
Nate Newman to the lead. Jeffrey Gerald in second. Tom Cording in third with Gannon Bird in fourth.
These open drivers are making the the championship contenders look a little iffy at the moment.
Yeah, 4 open drivers just kind of stealing the show right now. Full field invert's gonna really make things interesting.
Oh, that's gonna mess everything up. Of course, the pit stop's made too.
Well, and you gotta wonder if some of these guys aren't waiting for that.
That's true. That's very true. Tim back there at Luis. Y'all very well made the point earlier, and that could be the truth. That said, there are a number of those orange and black cars making their way up.
That is very true. Did we end up getting any retirements from that wreck at the end there?
We did not. I was just going to mention, I'm amazed at how clean everyone's been driving. I guess it's kind of to be expected when you've got the best of the best from
each series.
Yeah.
From every series we have.
So all corners of the series, and we've got the best of the best duking it out here. Racing like true veterans.
Crazy thing is, I don't think this was a track IROC ever actually raced on back in the day.
Huh. That's interesting.
I think it was Richmond, Texas, Daytona, and I think Indy at least once.
So they did do Daytona, though, which is probably...
Daytona was almost mandatory.
Did they make any alterations to the cars by your knowledge?
Nope.
Nope. Wow.
No, there may have been a wicker by the last few years, but for the most part, no. But in the last few years, IROC was kind of on the wane anyway because it wasn't getting any publicity, and it was just kind of also ran. It was always entertaining at Texas because there was always at least one Outlaws guy who would end up on their lid every year. Usually Kinzer.
I could see that.
I actually got to see it in a box seat the last year.
That's really cool. Those box seats are really cool. I sat in one of those at Michigan.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I actually got to watch him bounding down the backstretch. I was just like, what in the world?
something with Texas and flipping, because that was the site of David Rudiman, I think, too, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was. Wait, was that Rudiman or was that? No, that was.
Yeah. No,
Well,
Rudiman.
Rudiman flipped, but then there was the crash. The what's his name?
I don't know why I wanted to say Joey Logano, but that's Dover that I'm thinking.
That was crazy too.
That was a good wreck.
Well, and Texas was also site of IndyCar.
McDowell.
Oh, Michael McDowell. I might have
Yeah.
got those two mixed up. Not Rudiman, but rather McDowell. They seem so
Yeah.
similar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they drove the same car.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
Within a year of each other.
That's
So.
probably how.
And they kind of look similar too, I feel like.
Yeah. So I do want to mention too, while we've got kind of our peak viewer base right now, the other, I guess, broadcast you can expect during the winter season here before the 2024 season rolls out, we will be doing the winless driver series again. We just got to figure out one more driver to fill into the field. Maybe a change of scenery based on which track we go to. But we'll be pitting some of the greats throughout NASCAR history against each other that never won a race for another attempt at getting their first one and only career win. Last year we saw Jeffrey Earnhardt take home the victory and therefore gets to ride into the sunset with his one lone, obviously not real, but we can pretend it's real, race win.
On that, is it like Cup, Busch, or Trucks, or is it just Cup?
Predominantly Cup. I think I might have threw in a couple drivers that if they might have had like one or two Cup starts, but really it had to be a Cup driver with 0 wins.
Yeah, I think some guys had a little bit of a stretch. I think there was some guys that had like 7 races ran.
Well, technically, I think Randy LaJoy was part of it. So Randy LaJoy, although a Busch champion in his own right, he not a Cup champion or Cup race winner for that.
Right. So somebody like, say, well, does Ron Hornaday have a win?
I do believe Hornaday is on that list as a non-Cup winner.
Plenty of names in history to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing where it got kind of, ticky-tacky is if we threw in, say, a Matt DiBenedetto who isn't necessarily retired from racing. There's,
not by his own hand.
There's no telling that he could end up in a Cup ride and win a race, but we're just treating it as of who's actively winless.
True. I thought he was in last year. Wasn't he in last year?
Yep, he was. So we'll see. It might hold true that he's just going to be a regular in our winter winless driver series. So,
could you imagine looking in the mirror and seeing all of these cars chasing you?
It's kind of menacing because they all look the same. In a good way.
I feel like it's kind of cool that I feel like it's kind of cool when you do that, when you do the drone like that.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like there's like a mini drone coming off the car.
It's like there's a mount on the car.
Yeah, just a little tiny like drone.
That's the next step for NASCAR. They're going to figure out a way to mount a drone on every car that can, resist, 200 miles an hour. And all they have to do is pick up a controller and they can undock that drone. It'd be interesting to redock the drone to the car. That'd be a feat and a half.
I wonder if they'd let teams use it.
I don't know that they would have an option. Either a drone or maybe they figure out how to put a camera that can rotate on a long antenna.
That would be obnoxious to look at. But why can I see him doing it? Why can I see him doing it?
antennas.
Yes.
Like Smoking the Bandit, just that 7-foot antenna on the 5-foot car.
And they don't even put it on like the front or the back. They just put
Right
it
in
like
the middle.
right in the middle on the roof. We're deeming this hashtag NASCAR improvements. Maybe?
I don't want to be around the first time it grabs this fence at Pocono.
Why do I just see like a... You know that the cliche in cartoons when people hit their neck on trees? How they like spin around it?
Uh-huh.
Why am I the only one picturing just like... First time it hits, just... Spins around like that? Takes out like 4 cars in the process. Before it's sent flying down the straightaway again.
Where we go? Gannon Bird trying to take the lead back here from Nelson Chacon. Tom Courting.
I'm dying.
Man,
Tom Gordon says, I'll take second place from you too, if you don't mind.
Jason just looking at me like, what have I got to do to hold on to this lead? Alright, so where are we now?
4 laps to go.
And no one has stopped yet.
so that may or may not work properly, but as long as it doesn't screw up the...
Next part, it's no big deal.
I haven't seen anyone pit yet, so... But we...
I mean, I do remember how it used to be in the Thunder games, and a lot of times the cars would either pit at the very first or the very last of that segment. So with
We might have some
laps
takers.
left,
No.
not yet.
Just some close almost 3 wide action.
Field has thinned out a fair bit.
Yeah.
But the I do remember.
Well, they've got about 30 laps on these tires.
Some depends on if they were allowed to change them in the intermission.
That's true.
But as I was saying, they could pit on lap 14 and be fine. Some of them could even pit on lap 15 if their pit stall is before the start-finish line.
And I know that in some of the games they did that, where they'd pit like last second.
I actually won an All-Star in one of those games just because the driver who beat me was disqualified for that reason.
Tried to do it on the last lap, and their pit stall was after the line.
Yep.
Oof.
So like we mentioned, it could be a potential, non-factor with the program not executing as anticipated.
They should pit this time if they're gonna pit. If not, we're probably gonna have.
It was an idea, and it just didn't take, and we'll try something different with it if we do this again.
And we've got no takers.
Okay, which that's fine too.
Fine. We thought that might be a possible. Yeah, watch the entire field take down pit road.
Or the entire field be scrambled when we come back from intermission.
It'll probably just be inverted.
So it looks like Gannon Bird gonna kind of
The
sail
full field
away.
inversion is the next segment.
It'll probably just be inverted. Because if nobody pits, then everybody broke the rule, and you can't disqualify everybody.
I mean, I can try.
You can try. What do you get?
One hammer.
Exactly.
So coming home in the top 4, you got Gannon Bird, Jeffrey Gerald, Nelson Chacon, and Dalton Scott, followed by Justin Daytu for the top 5.
Nice job.
Maggie Reams, Tom Cording, Tayden Berggren, Monty Shangle, and Jacob Shangle.
A number of new names up there.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to cycle to the front in this one. 2 more
And
segments
immediately
to
they
go.
get sent to the back.
They worked so hard to get up here just to get sent back to the back again.
So
That's going to be fun to see the guys who have been up front the entire time fight through the field.
See, this is where I feel like some of these drivers at the back were playing the long game. Atlee Weiss is going to inherit second position. Okay, so yeah, no, any of that. It's a good thing that it resets their
Cars.
Yeah, because they get a little bit woed up coming to pit road here.
Well, they're still too wide. They were too wide the entirety of those 15 laps. So
And Bird gonna take a victory lap here. It's been pretty good. Some good racing so far.
hopefully the commentary has been good. I've enjoyed being here with y'all.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Definitely, it's been an experiment. I didn't know what we could expect from this. So far, it's paying off, and we're getting treated to some good action.
Maybe again, it's just taking one more lap of clean racetrack.
And do disregard this screen as it doesn't apply to much of anything. The mod
I'm
we're
watching the point standings. Just for fun.
So segment 3, we should see, I believe, What Army and Weiss on the front row. Which is kind of an interesting way to get to the front. I was a little bit worried there, as slow as it was.
Yep, looks like it just inverted.
Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Oh yeah, that's what happens too. It treats me as I'm still in the race. So Atlee will shuffle to the front, obviously. It's thinking I'm supposed to be there. Which is okay. It'll still cycle him up to the pole where...
Yeah, it'll still cycle into the pole.
Yep. Actually, yeah, it flipped that too because it should have been Chadwick on the pole. He got pushed to second, so Atlee Weiss inherits that pole position.
Yeah, but you'll be gone fast. You're gone fast enough for it to not run into the back of you and mess up that whole train there.
Yeah. So yet again, 15 laps like we've seen for the first 2 segments. Our leaders are going to have to come through the back of the field.
Everybody's rolling, so that's a good start.
Gannon Bird was stage 2 winner. Jeffrey Gerald had a good finish. Looks like there might have been a little bit of discrepancy after the pit stops too, so the invert kind of a little wonky, but it is what
That's
it is.
okay. Uh-oh. What's happening to our inside line here?
I think they'll eventually shuffle back to the front here.
They should, anyways.
What is this pace speed right now?
There we go.
72 miles an hour.
There we go. Ooh, let's blow it up there, boys.
We still got a straightaway to get it fixed.
There we go.
Completely different complexion in the front half of the field. Will that be enough to hold on for the race to the win? Well, we've got 15 laps this round and 25 the next to find out.
No, I think what's going to be exciting in this segment is seeing the faster cars try to work their way back to the front. We might actually see a little bit of wrecking during segment 3 here.
Oh, yeah, there's a good chance of that.
Yeah, there's 3 wide in the back there.
Gannonbird was already trying to pass people before they got to the first turn.
And clearly succeeding.
It's what, 5 spots in half a lap?
Mm-hmm.
And counting?
Wow, they are
Wasting no time.
definitely on the faster speed there.
Is that bird that just got pushed up?
Was, I believe.
See, that's going to be the interesting thing is when they are faster, but that high line is where the gap is.
No, I think that was Bird doing the pushing up.
Possibly that, like or Aspinall or whoever.
So Bradley Ream, who won the fan vote with an astounding 25% of the votes up to the front here in segment 3. Atlee Weiss and even Louis Trost. That's Alan Taylor running up towards the front. So yes, definitely a lot of new names. We'll have to...
I think a lot of this may come down to they finally gotten fresh air to run.
Yeah, they're not in the back anymore fighting to try to get through people. They have to just focus on getting clean air and getting by everybody, the people in front of them.
There's Chadwick in 5th. Going for 4th. And the back half is entirely 2x2.
There we go. Trost to the lead now.
Oh, and he had a good car on the open too.
Just don't think he had a chance to really get going because I believe he started the entire event, the entirety of this main, on the back row.
Yeah, I believe so.
And if the fresh air is as much of a big deal as it seems to be, you're not getting anything back there with how tight this pack is.
We've seen some buzzer beaters from Chadwick before, especially even here at Pocono, where he needed a win to make the chase for the USA Trucks, and did so, winning here at Pocono, locked his way into the bid for the championship. Did just come up short to Tom Cording, though, for that overall championship.
But it was enough for him to go on a tear too.
Right. No, LFG Motorsports looked like a whole nother team at the second half of the season. Here goes Ream.
It's a bad spot for those open drivers, though. Chadwick with the bold move.
Chadwick has a lot of momentum on his side here.
2. Is he going to go for 3? He's going to look. He might get a little bit of a boost here. Chadwick to the lead in turn 1.
And he's still got 10 laps to go here.
Good night.
Trying to see where one of our highest running stage 2, where the invert. See, Al Bunch actually up into the top 15. He was one of the names that we've seen running towards the front all night. So Al Bunch sitting in probably the best position here to get back in the mix for the final 25 lap segment that's to follow. Tim Cording up into the top 15. Man, it looks like the invert really did a number on some of our hot contenders at the start of this race. You can see Gannon Bird has only made his way back up to 32nd so far.
I think that's actually a loss from the last time we watched him.
Tom Cording in 40th.
Still, considering he started almost dead last, that's a 10-place jump.
Oofty. Jacob Shangle running dead last.
And this time the pit road will be closed, so it should be as they finish here, they will start the next segment, the last segment.
Yes, so no funky shuffle of the order. I'm impressed. I thought we would see more coming from the back with the invert, but impressively enough, it feels like possibly the guys that were sitting at the back the whole time were just, bluffing. They weren't really low on power.
Just biding their time a little bit.
Bradley Ream going low here into turn 3.
And who knows? I mean, it's hard to pass at speed. It is proven time and time again that you can make more passes coming to speed than you can at speed. So a caution for some of these guys would be very welcome. Not so much for these leaders, but Gannon Bird back there in 32nd, he would love a caution just so that he has a chance to eat up 10 more positions in 3 turns.
Well, and the other thing I'm starting to ponder is once we go to the 25 lap final stage, is that going to be right at the end of a fuel run?
Possibly. Don't recall exactly. However, I can tell you that at that point, tires will start being an issue.
22 laps is... Oh, wait. 22 gallons. Or rather, 40 laps is what they project.
Laps, yeah.
Which that's a mild projection, but I don't think it'll become a factor in that final stage. We're basically going to be racing the entire time for this all-star event.
Only if we start having a lot of cautions all of a sudden. Of course, if you want to look at it one way, if these cars don't have any service done to them in the intermission, where does that put the end of that segment?
Hold on. If If the setting is on 2 times, then they're gonna have to pit on that last stage.
But I think it's set at one by, so
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because it's set on the thing 2.
oh.
So if it's set by 1, then it should be fine. If it's set by 2, then they're gonna have to pit 5. They're gonna be 5 laps short in that final stage.
Which would make for a show.
Yeah, we could have a show on our hands depending on what the multiplier is.
Well, we've got 6 people making a show right now. 2 opens, 2 cups, and 2 trucks.
Chadwick and Weiss, we've seen them duke it out.
This has been a battle every series, every year. Or all year.
They have been prime contenders for the truck championship each year. Nice, Guido Piano getting his way up to the front as well. You've got
Coker's a name I haven't seen all day.
Yeah, he's been sneaking his way through.
I
He's
think-
not really. He's been quiet all day.
I think he earned it from the invert for sure. There's still, I haven't seen anyone come back through the field.
It's all that dirty air in the back.
That's a big part of it, and just the size of the field. If this field was half the size, they would be able to do so. They would be able to make it through. But well, hold on. Where's Newman at?
And Al Bunch,
What position is Newman at?
E14.
He's moving up through the field slowly.
He's moving up pretty well, actually.
Yeah, because wasn't he in the top 5?
Yes,
the
constantly.
front?
Yeah.
It's like he's getting the advantage of some of the other cars making mistakes there. As you saw, the 3 of those got bunched up, giving Newman the position on Fast Knot.
Looks like Importing doesn't have a very good car today.
3 more laps remaining in the segment.
Can we call him Ninja Newman?
If he can work his way back up to the front, that might be a nickname that sticks.
Might be worth taking a look at where he started. And if he makes it to the top 10, that might be a noteworthy event for the race. Here's Ream falling off for the lead. And the wagon. Ooh, this is close.
Clyde Coker leading his first lap here.
He's looking for lead Piano. Looking to actually... No, who's that in front?
Oh, I forgot Chadwick's out there, so that was not a lead lap for Coker. My bad.
Yeah, Chadwick is sailing away now.
He might have the lead with the gap by the time we get to the end of the segment. He may have just timed this perfectly.
Well, we're coming to the white flag this time by.
And as soon as I say it, there it goes. Atlee
Yeah,
realized
but
who it was and was like, you ain't getting away without a fight.
So yeah, Nate Newman started this race 4th. I went ahead and did a rewind there. So he started 4th, and he's worked his way back up into the top 15 here by segment 3.
So he would have been about 38th to start. That's very impressive.
There's a battle for the overall first place at the end of segment 3 here. Weiss dipping down low on Chadwick.
So at some point, these two are going to have to take this fight off the track. My question becomes, do we involve gloves, a ring, what?
Maybe mixed martial arts.
Guido Piano in the mix now.
Chadwick is gonna kind of stunt on the field here.
Open drivers have led the segments up to now, and now it's going to be a truck driver.
So Chadwick wins segment number 3 here.
That can't go.
Coming home. Ah, dang it.
Now we can get a good. Now what's
Weiss coming home second.
now that everybody's come across, we can get a good idea as to how big a jump some people have made and how many people have struggled.
Nate Newman up to 12. So truly,
That's a pretty good run.
26, roughly 26 spots. More than one a lap. That's incredible.
Maybe he was the dark horse of the first 2 segments here.
Al Bunch has been very quiet too, just maintaining his own.
15th himself, yeah.
And now once we get this far back,
I'm
it's
Gordon
gonna
having
get...
a rough segment.
Yeah, he's kind of falling back. Oh, is that day 2?
Day 2, yeah. Day 2 finished 25th.
I mean, he was being pushed ahead by Birds, so
Gage made it up to 26. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, 36th, I think. 20... Or yeah, 26, 28.
28. That's a pretty good run.
that's still a good run. Bird's the one that I want to take. I want to see how he did, because he started off like a shot and then just kind of faded after that.
Gannon Bird, 38th. So
Ooh,
the invert significantly altered his finishing position here.
Chason and Gerald too. Wow. That goes to show how much a okay car can be helped out by good air.
Right. No, that invert really made this anyone's game at this point. Yeah,
Petition to make this a thing for real life at this scale. Because for years they did it in like top 5, the top 6 or top 8, or maybe if they were feeling saucy, the top 12. Never did they invert the entire field.
Oh no.
Touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
What happened for segment 4? It's not asking me if I want to...
Oh no. Are we on a rain delay?
Results. Let's...
If we need to, we can set it up by hand. We can set up the last. We can set up the last segment by hand. Thankfully, it's the last segment, so it's not that big of a deal.
Also, the only thing that's the main thing for that one is the yellow flag rule. We had no other special conditions on that.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that they go through. Maybe we need to put one on in the future.
Touch your Hans like you want it.
All right.
You did save segment 3, right?
Yeah.
Oh, segment 3 even didn't even have the green flag on, or green flag only. Or segment 4 didn't. So it may not have triggered anything initially.
Okay. I'll see what
I'm gonna
happens.
step away for a second while you guys figure this out.
Okay.
Was the order? Did you saw the order? Was it correct? Even vaguely?
For the order for
For the fourth segment.
it seemed like it.
Because if
Dang it. Yeah, it's treating him as a single. So we did get the results. Yeah, we might just have to run one more instance with the field set manually, which I've done that before.
it's weird that all of a sudden it now decides to act up. And again, because you changed after this championship started, there's a chance that it won't trigger the green flag, the yellow flag rule. Well, we're learning.
Yeah, I can do the save edit. Well, at least we did. At least it inverted the field. No, it did everything we needed to right up to the last stage, so I can fix this. This is easy. We'll fill the empty air here while I get it sorted, but shouldn't be a problem. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do 30 laps for the main event, since that'll be easier to tweak on the single race setup.
Right.
Yeah, because it'll go in increments of 10 laps, so I can't really, unless I go into the track INI. So now I just have to start the weekend, select save.
Favor, touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Honda. Favor, touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your.
We need a new NASCAR game.
Yeah.
We need a racing game that will allow us to genuinely build series as we see fit.
Well, and
I know
there's
Assetto Corsa and Project Cars have parts to them, but very few actually allow a setup like this.
there is hope with the new series, or the new they will be coming out with a new game, but I don't know what to expect, since it's technically going to be iRacing but on a console release.
It'll basically be iRacing, just I think I suggested it in the Discord. Basically, be low res iRacing.
Touch all your seatbelts, touch connections, touch.
Which will be free to play with, maybe like
Favor, touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Honda.
with
Make sure you get
maybe
everything like you
some
want it.
DLC that you got to get.
Yeah, it'll probably be like, if they can get a hold of the IndyCar one, then you would have a NASCAR and an IndyCar. Could potentially have sports cars in the future, but iRacing already has in-depth analysis for everything. I can see them just deciding to take all of that code and try and make a more user-friendly version of it.
Right.
Hopefully including the livery editor. Because let's admit it, there hasn't been a good one in-game up until, and I'm saying this universally, possibly the best livery editor in gaming is either Forza or Gran Turismo, however you look at it. And that's in-game, not upload.
Okay, I'm getting the qualifying order reset here, and we should be good to go in about 3 minutes.
Questions?
Three of amp person.
But yeah. I am serious about the GT or Forza argument because I've been making liveries in photo editors for years. That's not in game. It has to be intuitive to be usable in game, and most of them just simply aren't. Or it's a preset number of cutout liveries that you can apply colors to, which is fine. That's how we got through for years. But we have options to do it better now.
Okay, now the tedious part is I have to move each individual driver up one spot, click at a time. So this one up to 14th.
I didn't realize that had a randomizer.
Yes. Check.
You can drag and drop.
I can?
Yeah, click them. Just click them.
Uh-huh. Oh, thank goodness.
You're welcome.
Good save.
Good. I think my blood sugar was going low, so I'm eating ice cream. But I heard you say that, and I was like, I better let him know that he can drag and drop those.
Must help.
Yeah.
Yeah, this final stint's going to be interesting with all the drivers that got shuffled to the back. And this, a true reset like this, the AI might actually pull a full flipperoo on us.
Very well could.
Is you set it for that 25 laps, and then you do the double on the function. Double the pit stop.
Oh.
And get our pit stop.
Yeah, we could do that.
Actually, we can't do that. No.
If you put it to yes, if you put
he already started it. He had to start it to save it.
Yep.
Oh
shoot.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've tried that, and it'll just basically it'll act like it's no longer compatible, and it'll either reset your option or make you start a new race.
Damn.
Yeah, as much as this game is useful, it's also got a bunch of old quirks and just old setups that we've been able to work around.
The thing is, some of the community, I'm gonna say it, some of the community is a bunch of old folks that have too much of a "this is mine, nobody else can have it" mentality.
I mean, to an extent, but that was a quirk. That's a quirk of the programming, and the programming is a part of it, how it was in the day. You basically, if you changed anything, you had to save, shut down, and restart for it to take effect. Some operating systems are still that way today. It's not near as many, but there are some.
Oh no, I agree. I'm just saying there's probably somebody out there that's figured out a loophole for the game where you can fix the wear setting
Oh, absolutely.
without goofing your entire thing. They're just holding on to it and don't want to let it go because they, for some stupid reason.
Probably kind of similar to Gollum in the Ring.
My precious.
I'll process.
Okay, save.
That was horrible.
Chadwick and Weiss should be on the front row. I will resume, and we'll get back to going here for the final stage, which will now be 30 laps because of I didn't want to go into the track I and adjust it to get the 25.
Shenanigans.
Which I don't think that would have caused the problem if the track. Yeah, no, we were running 15 laps in the last two segments and it was just fine.
Yep.
Resume saved race. Yes.
Let's say everybody involved wasn't happy with how short it was, so they protested for a longer race for once.
Mm-hmm.
Favor, touch your Hans.
Yep,
Make sure you get
everything.
like you want it.
Turn the ads off. And here we go for the final segment here tonight.
Favor,
Chadwick and Weiss rolling off with the front row.
like you want it.
The blue pace car ran out of fuel, so they brought in the yellow one.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Alrighty, this is for all the marbles here tonight. Could Nate Newman perhaps stun the field and come to the front?
Yes.
Here we go.
So the only thing that does change in this is the fact that we don't have the caution, the freedom from counting caution laps here. Caution laps will count. We'll try to expedite if we do get under caution, force the race to get back to green as quickly as possible. So Chadwick,
we can use green white checker to extend it a little bit if we need to.
Yep.
We can always throw personal caution.
If only the AI
Had
wasn't
caution laps.
so questionable, we could just turn cautions off and hope that they miss everything.
Yeah, if only. Even the iRacing AI isn't that good sometimes.
No.
Atlee going for the lead here on Chadwick. These two kind of got stumped for championships, other than Weiss being our Cup champion this year. But when it came to the Truck Championship, Chadwick and Weiss looked like prime contenders to get it done. Chadwick stuck on that high side there.
They finished second and fourth, respectively.
Yes.
The Cornings were first and third.
I believe so.
Look at Rain trying to make a return to the lead. Piano, Coker, Chadwick, I guess, getting railroaded on cold tires right now. can tell you that 30 laps here, tires will start to be an issue.
Could even see a caution within 30 laps this time now.
Look at Al Bunch moving back up to the front here. Nate Newman and him kind of putting together a convoy. Picking them off one by one.
That's what you got to do. And they did it for 15 laps. They've got 20 more to get back to the lead.
Oh, Weiss got shuffled out as Alan Taylor now takes the lead.
Again, it'll be interesting to see how many people are able to make their way from the back to the front, if anybody, at this point.
Well, let's see too where Gannon Bird might be.
Well, with double the laps, we might see guys get their tires warm and be able to start making some moves.
Chason has already moved up a fair bit from the almost dead last he was in. The Bird has stalled badly.
Well, 3 wide with Cannon Gage, Dalton Scott, and Taden Bergeron.
That's some strong driving there.
Gage gonna make it work though.
All 3 of them are. Crazy. The thing is that the guy on the outside could really just be horrible about it and make everybody's day miserable.
That was a little tight.
Him going into that turn just it's up a little bit every time.
I got a little worried there for a second. It looked a little sketchy.
This is where depth perception is key.
Mm-hmm.
And I have none.
Ooh, Chadwick falling back.
Now. Almost has no momentum behind him whatsoever.
Here
Green
comes
too.
Al Bunch and Nate Newman on a tear right now.
Is that a Shangle?
Yeah, Tyler Shangle, the winningest Cup driver out there in the top 10.
Lisa's fallen out of the top 5 as well.
Now we got Jordan Walker up to second. That's the first time we've seen him there tonight.
You know he wants another win. You know he wants to have the trophy in another series. As strong as his truck season was to come up short, like they were, all the Walkers would want this trophy just to say, ah.
Well, and that'd be a Texas native taking it home if he were to do so. There's quite a few actually Texas natives out there on the track.
Look at Gerber there. Got bumps going at the close of segment 1, and now they're in the top 5.
Dang. Nate Newman now alongside Al Bunch for position. Greg Forian up into the top 15. So yeah, no, the IROC series, as this is the kind of the testing grounds for what will be the IROC series in 2024. You're looking at the you're looking at the car. They'll be running these Pontiac Trans Ams for the IROC 2024 campaign. And we have 8 races set aside. Basically, it's going to be 1 race each month at about the same period of time in each month. So if I can't remember if I put it like at the end of each month or like midway through each month. Tracks still haven't been decided upon yet, but it will be run in conjunction with the Sylvania Cup Series. So perhaps some of the tracks that the Cup Series goes to, we might look to try and make it a double header, where we'll run a Cup race and the IROC race simultaneously.
The main roster has been set up. However, we are still in discussion on whether we want to add an open subset on that, or if we're just going to run the 12 that we currently have planned.
And do you have that readily available, the 12 that are in it? We can kind of do this as the grand unveil for everyone that's listening in right now. We'll make a post later tonight.
Give me 1 second. I will get through a list. However, I will make a full roster and display it in probably a week's time or less. That way, everybody can see what the cars will look like in full.
That, and we also got the Busch Series now being rebranded to the Bridge to Cup, which is going to be an exciting amalgamation of rallycross, NASCAR, I guess even, road course racing and stuff too. It's just it's going to be exciting, different, facets of racing that we haven't seen yet in the NASCAR world of racing.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff in the works here.
But tonight with this is gonna give us just something to end the season out on with our regular contenders. Only one driver can be the All-Star, and looking pretty good right now for Atlee Weiss, our Cup champion, running second right there. We're going to try to make the move on Jordan Walker. Tyler Shangle, in all rights, should be a contender for this All-Star win here tonight. Has over 35 plus wins in Sylvania Cup competition. And it's going to take a while for anyone to come close to those numbers, especially since he's still an active driver putting up wins each and every year that he contests the series. So
Jacob, I have that list for you.
Alrighty, the stage is yours.
The current IROC roster lines out like this. Representing our Cup Series, Atlee Weiss, Ewan One Army, Danny Letowitz, and Justin Diatu. Please correct me if any of those are wrong.
Who was the third one?
Litowitz.
Oh, Danny Litowitz. Okay.
Litowitz, thank you. Representing Busch, or Bridge to Cup, Al Bunch, Taden Bergeron, Brian the Blank, and Daniel Paulus Jr. The truck quartet will be Tom and Tim Cording, Andre Stefan, and Chaz Chadwick. And those are our 12 drivers as of this moment. Anyone else would be added either per race or as an open entry.
And overall, I think that kind of gives at least a broad enough spectrum of who's who from each season in 2023, as that's what they're qualifying, to qualify for that roster. Their results from 2023 is how they're going to line up in 2024. I do think it would be kind of cool to maybe throw in a quartet of drivers that are on a rotating basis, perhaps maybe 3, maybe 4, but maybe a driver that's hot at the time that can hop in. But then again, they wouldn't really be fighting for an IROC championship, so I don't. Maybe we keep it tied to a team or something. I don't know.
I'd say what we could do is from trucks, we would take the championship leaders. From road to cup, we'd take the top 2, and then from cup, we'd take the top 2 as well. That'd give us 6 cars.
Plus the 12 that were already rostered.
Plus the 12.
Okay.
Yeah, plus the 12 who are already rostered.
That would be 18, which is still not an overloaded size.
No, it's a good size. 18's a good number of cars. I mean, if you wanted to, you could give
everything is still on the table for this.
You could probably give road to cup and cup a third spot to give you 20 cars.
Which that would at least keep it so that maybe more people that are in it will be tuning in to see it. So.
Well, yeah, and plus it makes it it leaves it as an open car, but as long as you're having a good season and you're within the top 3 in road to cup and cup, you're good. And for trucks, with it just being the championship leaders, and then when we get to the championship, we'll switch it to the top 2. That still leaves it as a pretty prestigious spot to have for that series.
I think we need to make a comment here as to who's into the top 5.
Was that Nate Newman?
Yeah. He might.
I also see another Shangle.
He might be working towards getting and earning that nickname, Ninja Newman. He's been the star. I mean,
Al Bunch is nearby behind him.
So you've got your truck champion from 2022, your Busch champion from 2023, all coming within range of the lead here.
And Newman wants it. He sees the lead. He smells blood.
Nate Newman right there alongside Weiss, his new team owner. Atlee Weiss actually picked up Nate Newman to drive Cup full time.
If this is any indication, that's looking like a wise investment.
Up into the top 4 now.
Weiss definitely played the long game of sitting at the back to get the invert to his favor.
I don't think he was expecting somebody to actually be able to go from the back to the front.
There's a big gap establishing here from 4th to 5th.
Yeah, much less 2 of them.
I believe that's Al. Yeah, I was just going to say, it doesn't look like Al Bunch is content with having that big of a gap up to the top 4.
No, sir.
Al Bunch now clear of Guido Piano. Ant Me Person right there as well. And there's a caution.
Oh, we got a caution.
This is gonna spice things up. Perhaps.
Especially when we're getting ready to come to 10 to go here.
Chris Hergeson gets spun out by Kara Shangle here. Kara gets into the side. Single car spins, so not a lot of involvement here. That's really only the second wreck we've seen tonight here at Pocono. We saw one in the first open.
Looks like Kara may have gotten a little bit of a virgin there. So don't forget to take some laps off.
Just in case somebody does decide to pit, that could make things interesting.
Very. I mean, they've got 20 laps on their tires.
So we'll see if there's any takers. It's gonna be
This could throw everything off. I mean, it could throw everything off anyway. Jordan Walker leading. Is that Tyler Shangle in second?
yes.
Atlee Weiss third. Newman fourth. Al Bunch fifth.
I figured nobody would pit, but you never know.
Assume nothing.
There we go. Pace lights are off. Only one lap under caution here. We will get back to racing with 8 laps to go. And I want to establish double file restarts. So I got to do this really quick. And
It may not let you in.
It's a long enough track that I think we can get this sorted.
You want to set up green white checkers as well while you're tinkering?
Did.
Oh, did you? I missed that click.
Actually, yeah, if I can do that. Because we're already past the 2-lap period where it'll... Hope that still applies for when you start it up in the middle of a race.
It does, it does. Settle down, settle down.
Okay, I got it set so the bar doesn't pop up when I scroll down there.
There we go.
Okay, so Jordan Walker, Tyler Shangle, Atlee Weiss, and Nate Newman. Newman, against all odds, has found his way back up to the front here. Al Bunch.
Here too.
Guido Piano. Me Person.
Where was Tim Cording?
In the top 10. So
His car has come alive late in the race here.
impressive recovery for
Both Cording and Ream.
Yeah.
Roach.
Well, Tom's made it a fair chunk into the field as well, but it's going to be too little too late to fully recover.
Oh, I guess we didn't have the yeah. Oh well.
We'd already made it down to the 1 to go lap.
But this kind of throws it back anyways. Kind of a throwback restart, single file. Gives the leader
Interesting.
still gives the leader the advantage, as he deserves. He's earned it. Pocono, man, they wanted to fan out there, but they decided better on it. Nate Newman goes low, 3 wide.
Very low.
With
Newman is wanting to win this race now.
Yeah, he's like, time's up. Gotta go by.
I imagine Jordan Walker is a sitting duck there in the lead right now.
I believe to Nate Newman, he is just a bullseye.
But you don't want to count out Atlee Weiss, who's still right there in the picture. It's been...
This caution could also help out all those guys who were falling back, like Chadwick.
Right? Yeah, let's see where
Hey guys,
Chadwick...
I just thought about how to solve our last 2 spots problem.
What are you thinking?
Give it to the top 2 from this.
Yeah,
Or whoever, you know, if say it's someone, just keep going back.
Yeah, if they're not in the list already, then those are the last 2 spots. Yeah, those are the last 2 spots, and we can go down from there if we need to.
Ooh, Newman getting a good run here on Jordan Walker. Atlee Weiss gave him a good push there.
Weiss has got his breath back.
And he's not wasting time either.
But it looks like our all-time Cup winner is looking for another trophy as well.
Yeah, the number 1 there, Tyler Shangle, still holding on at the end of this one.
Newman gets a lead, and all of a sudden, he's lost a lot of that momentum that he had going through. I guess. I guess that's more proof of what we said earlier about good car, just not as good with the aero. He's a pusher. He's a pusher, not a puller.
Well, and I think he's probably glad he figured this out now instead of 5 laps from now.
Wow, that's impressive. Nate Newman on the high side actually clears the gap to take the lead away from Weiss.
Able to defend that run. Nice.
Al Bunch now up to 4th. Jordan Walker falls back to 5th. Ewan What Army up into the top 10 already. That's a pretty
quiet day.
So at this point, Atlee Weiss has got to be thinking to himself as he's watching his future teammate in front of him that he made an impressive pickup of talent there with Nate Newman. Kind of shocked the whole silly season when Atlee Weiss had a winless Nate Newman. Nate Newman's never won in competition before, and he up and signed him to a full-time Cup ride for 2024. Kind of sending shockwaves through the rest of the team owners as to, you know, what was that all about?
They have new stuff that we didn't know.
Yeah, Nate Newman coming out here to show us this. This is what he could see.
Well, and what this applies, we're watching right now, is there's no, I mean, obviously Weiss and Newman are both running strong, but it's not like they're running team-powered cars. They're running a spec model car out there, and Newman is just out racing the rest of the field right now.
Look who's coming up here into the top 3 late in the closing laps here.
This is something independent of that.
So yeah, it's a true show of talent here at the front of the field. Some of the winningest drivers, some of our champions, and even some newcomers. Oh, and we've got another caution.
The entire range at the front in the top 5.
Oh, and it is...
Oh, it's a parking lot.
It's chaos for this caution.
And there's the other end of the argument. Hey, they made it a long time before they finally gave in.
Oh boy, Chadwick was involved. This one's gonna have to... We're gonna have to unpack this one a little bit.
You may have to change the camera a little bit too.
Yeah. So we can see what's going on here.
Something tells me this one might end up triggering that green-white checker.
I can tell you for a fact it probably will. Or we'll get a 1-lap shootout.
I'm gonna disable or bring the pace laps down so that we don't...
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would. You're gonna get an ugly 1-lap shootout.
Well, half the field gets wiped out here.
Oh, I saw Tom Cording in there too.
Ooh, Braden Hunt, Kara Shangle, Riley Sorrell Tracy, Maggie Reams, Gannon Bird, who is just running around at the back of the field there.
Chadwick's
Chadwick.
in. This takes out a lot of people. Chason just kind of weaving through. He's damaged, but
Not much. Just a little front end damage there.
Oh, I was going to say, if we saw someone make a save of the century there, but not.
not a chance on this one. I don't think I've seen a wreck like this at Pocono. Not in a long time, at least.
No, yeah, not in a long time.
Usually it's one horrible accident where somebody ends up with a fence or something.
The problem was, once that wreck started, there was no way of getting around it. It was...
Yeah, turn three is one of the worst for that, just because there's no escape.
a stationary roadblock, basically.
Even turns 1 and 2, you can at least get around something like that. 3,
Just wait for him to cross the line and see what happens.
yeah,
I don't know what lap we're on at this point. We were unpacking that for a good minute.
20 to 30. So they'll come around, start 29.
As long as it hits 29 and it actually cycles to 31, we'll know
It should.
that...
It should.
I'd leave it alone right now.
Yeah, we're getting close to the front stretch here, so.
And there's still people coming around, even if they are damaged.
Oh, the 72 ran out of fuel.
Who's the 72?
Oh, Cannon Gage.
He was having a good day too.
Wow.
He was stuck in the back after the flip.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
guessing he got hit in the fuel tank.
So yeah, 53 of Tom Cording out, the 28 of Chadwick out, the 8 of Kara Shangle out, the 22 of Braden Hunt, the 15 of Riley Sorrell Tracy, the 3 and the 6, the 3 of Monty Shangle and the 6 of Aaron Rapp, the 72 of Cannon Gage, the 20 of Justin Daytu, the 30 of Krista Cower, 21 of Trevor Walker, followed by the 50 of Jeffrey Gerald.
Trevor was caught in that?
Trevor, yes, he was. So there we have our first drama.
Now, if you want to hit it one time, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'll let it roll. We'll give us a few more moments here to kind of
Let
recover.
us catch our breath.
Yeah. What a wreck.
As much of a shame as that wreck was, we've actually had a very good race today.
Yeah. This has been really good racing. All the way from the opens, all the way till now, we've only had what,
This is number
three wrecks?
3, yep.
And only
this-
2 of them were parking lots? That's
No,
that's
even
pretty
one.
good.
Just the one,
Just-
yeah.
I think I caught the tail end of the first one there.
And even that one was iffy just because it was at the very end of the race. Wait. No, that was just a single spin into nothing.
Oh, was it?
So
Oh, was it?
yeah, even the first one was just a lazy, kind of a lazy spin, but it was at the very back of the pack.
Oh, okay.
And then there was some jostling coming to pit road after the segment. So I think
Who are our cars
that's
at-
what you were seeing.
Who are the open cars at the back there that are all torn to pieces?
Yeah, we see Newman. Let's take stock of who we have left. By the way, has anybody asked any questions on the YouTube?
No.
I had to close mine because my internet was starting to struggle.
Looks like the lights are out on the pace car here.
This time we're going to do double file.
Should be double file, yeah.
Awesome, we think.
Nope, we've been treated to a proper all-star event here today with a little bit of chaos and a lot of good racing.
Hey, we were curious really fast. Who are our cars at the tail end there with that are open cars that are a little goofed up in the front? Because we saw two of them come at the back there.
Myself
Shangle there.
and Trost, Gannon Bird, Logan Nagy. Yeah, and then that looks to be a few of the others that were involved in the wreck still running at the back of the field here. Roach, Berggren.
I think we saw Roach and Berggren come in.
Dalton Scott still has a pretty clean looking car there. This gives a few of the other drivers, especially Tim Cording, another opportunity here on a green-white checkered.
This is it. This is for the win.
Well, as long
All or
as we
nothing.
don't get another caution before the white flag, because we could have infinite attempts at a green-white checkered. Which that could really get hairy with gas mileage if we get too many green-white checkered attempts here at the end.
Yeah, that no fuel line for, what was it, Bird? One of the drivers kind of makes you wonder a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Here we
definitely
go.
telling. Green-white checkers on the way here.
Can
Wow.
Newman hold the lead?
Number one? No, he
Newman is
does
being
not
driven
have
past. Ow.
on the outside too.
Well, they do have to make it inside.
I think Nate Newman was just letting his tires warm back up. He's going to try to
Here
catch...
comes Al Bunch too.
Possibly, but he's got Al Bunch right behind him.
It's crazy. Nate Newman surrounded by 3 champions. Tyler Shangle, Atlee Weiss, and Al Bunch. All champions in their own.
He's closing that gap.
To stay in green, we're going to get the white flag this time by.
Half a lap to white.
Newman keeping that gap very small in front of him to Tyler.
He's looking to make a move.
I think he may have been just setting him up.
Turn 1.
I'm thinking turn 2.
Oh, that's
Not going to have an option.
Nope, he wiggled.
that was a bad
That's gonna be-
move.
That's gonna be all she wrote.
Not quite. He's able to hold that position amazingly.
He's making another
Weiss is actually
charge.
Possibly going to lose third.
Oh, Nate Newman.
I'm coming into
He's
2.
going for it now.
He's going to try to take the lead away. Atlee.
Like I said, his car is better in the draft than it is in the lead. But if he gets the lead, he can defend.
Atlee making a move too on the inside of Tyler. Tyler charging around. Not going to make...
Cut off that line though.
That's going to throw the momentum off for Weiss. And I think that's it.
Nate
Isn't it?
Newman.
Yep.
Nate Newman is your 2023 All-Series All-Star Champion.
A last lap pass to win.
He managed to make that an exciting finish at the end. He had to come all the way through the open to make it to the main event here tonight. He beat the likes of Tyler Shangle and Atlee Weiss. Jordan Walker as well came home for a top 5 finish. Alan Taylor.
Newman drove into into this race.
Yeah. No, he fought all day long and is the first ever inaugural champion of this all-star race.
I think with a drive like that, we can give him a nod for the IROC round.
Yeah. And the one car of Tyler Shangle also could take one. That's not a bad. Second place for him was pretty good,
Oh,
considering the day he had so far throughout the whole segments.
So, apart from what little technical difficulties, which I more so expected that to happen, because this is
I had a feeling.
NR after all.
It was a nice learning experience. It gave us a lot that we were hoping for, and yet it gave us a little bit of a hiccup at the end. But it was something that we could make up for.
That just means next time we adjust to 3 stages and make it maybe a shorter track we run at.
Or maybe trial it with 3 and see if see if it does it there too.
Yeah.
Because the
it
main
could
thing,
be a final run thing.
if it's something that we have to have a gimmick in it for it to function, then we can figure out what gimmick we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Because by that last segment, we were just going to run straight up, as we did here. If it needs something to help it run, then we'll figure out something for it to run.
So yeah, Nate.
So, is this how we start introducing new series into the woodwork, Jacob? By doing the all-star races at them?
Maybe.
I like the idea. I like it. It seems like a fun idea.
A rotating all-star?
Yeah.
Well, and I think
that's actually a decent idea.
Going forward, the all-star...
It doesn't even have to be a new series. It could be the fact that one of our series is switching to a new model next season, and this is how we show it off.
Well, maybe not that, but, think about it. We could throw them all in a truck next year for the all-star race. It's like, hey, look at... This will be the strong suit for someone like Tim Cording and Guido Piano, but maybe it rotates. Maybe it'll be in the Cup cars. Maybe it'll be in the Bridge to Cup. Maybe they're running a rallycross track for the All-Star event in 2024.
Could you imagine if we could get a hold of something that would allow us to run multi-class?
That would be kind of different. It would be cool.
Well, there is sort of a mod. I can show you guys after we get done here. I'll go find it right now.
That would be batty.
But yeah, no. That was a good race. Great action. Congratulations to Nate Newman on being our first ever All-Star from the All-Series All-Star event that we had here today. Atlee Weiss came home with a 3rd. Al Bunch with a 4th. What Army comes up for a 7th. Bradley Ream 8th. Greg Forian top 10. Dalton Scott top 15.
Tim Cording 15th.
Yep, Tim Cording made a kind of a late race bid there to get back up to where he was running. So
it's crazy how the cars that started off looking so strong just fell off. There's 2 no fuels on that list.
So they must have been pushing it really close to empty there at the end.
But no one else pitted. I'm guessing that there was just such an impact that either something came loose or they just spilled all they had left. Either way.
Oh.
Well, we're gonna close it off with that. I'm glad that it turned out. We got a good finish there. Glad to have both of you in the booth for it. That was awesome. It helps to have some other color commentary.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Would happily do it again.
So yeah, and with our series, the next event you can look out for will be that winless driver league that we've got. It'll be an annual thing around holiday season here. And yeah, it'll be the last thing that we host in 2023. Next week, though, we will be doing on the Discord channel the All-Star Banquet, or I mean the awards banquet. I mean, it might involve most of these All-Stars, obviously. But yeah, the awards banquet will be next Saturday on Discord. Just kind of banter back and forth, maybe some voice chat and stuff, but nothing that'll be streamed. It'll just be on the servers. So trying to get things freshened up and prepped for 2024, which is just 30 days away now. Anything you guys want to leave off with before I close out the stream?
2024 is shaping up to be an exciting year.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what it all has in store.
And perhaps we'll see with Nate Newman, maybe this momentum is going to push him to greater things and beyond in 2024. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. It's been a ride. 2023 closing up here. So hopefully all have a good night. Congratulations to everyone involved in tonight's All-Star event. Truly an all-star cast of characters that we saw racing on track tonight. Congratulations once again to Nate Newman. So this is us signing out from the broadcast. Hopefully we see you on the next one.